There's the light. Oh, there we go. So this is future Maddie recording the intro about a week and a half after this video started. This is the second part in the surprisingly long reinstalling the hoses part of the video that I thought was going to take a couple of hours in real time at most and might make a short little 15-minute video, and oh boy, how wrong I was. This, I think, will be the second of 3 videos. It ends on a pretty low note, but I wanted to say right off the bat that, as you'll see in the next video, it all works out in the end. For those of you who are here for the boat build, I hope you enjoy, even though it's not necessarily the most exciting. For you who are here for the battery build, after the next video, we're on to battery stuff again. And even when I get back to the boat, it's going to be principally electrics. So this should be the second last boat-specific, engine-specific video before we're back to our regularly scheduled broadcasting. Alright, so I don't know if you can see that right here, but there's one more nipple/barb that's for the Overflow, and I don't know what size it is. I think this is, it looks small, it's probably 1/4 inch. Do I have any 1/4 inch left? This is 1/4 inch. Let's see if that'll fit. Oh, actually it might be 5/8. Oh, it'd be nice if I could stick with the new line I bought. Yeah, it is 1/4 inch. Huh, nice. There we go. All right, now this goes down to a reservoir bottle, which is going to be a milk jug, because that's what I've got right now. And it'll go here somewhere. Once I get somewhere for that to go into, all my hoses are done. So let's now turn our attention to, okay, you know what? Maybe this wants to be over there somewhere. Yeah, maybe I'll put the milk jug down here somewhere. Well, anyways, I need to start doing some electrical ends. Okay, now that that's actually done, I'm not going to put any coolant in today. That'll be probably tomorrow. What should I do next? Before I get too cold, I think I will try to prime the diesel. Let's prime the diesel. That seems like a sensible thing to do next. And then I'll come through and I can do all of the wiring. So you're supposed to back this off, and then lever there you press. So I need to crack that so the air can come out. And from what I heard, this can be a real, oh wow, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You don't need to crack it far, from what I understand. So now, I should pump this until I see diesel coming out here. Oh, you can see the air bubbles coming out. There's a way you can, I think, there's something you can do at the top that allows you to spin the engine to try to suck the diesel through to bleed it faster, but you can burn out your alternator and whatnot. It seems like it's something that if you do this a lot and you know what you're doing, it's a really good way to save time. But for someone like me who's doing it just once and really doesn't want to break anything, using this annoying little plunger might be the way to go. They were not kidding when they said it's annoying. Oh, I'm an idiot. Ah. The diesel was off. All right, let's try this again. Actually, with that bleeder valve open, I think it's called a bleeder valve. I don't know what it's called, whatever that is. With that open, can I get more pressure through with the bulb? You can watch this. I am going to try to use the bulb to get it out, or to get the air out. Ooh, that was a lot faster. See those bubbles? Okay, that worked. That's nothing but diesel coming out. Okay. I'm sure there has to still be air in the system, but that's probably enough for me to get going. I have absolutely no coolant or water. I'm not going to turn this over yet, but I will tighten that up. Righty-tighty. All right. When I go to start the engine, hopefully it'll actually start. So, you know what I was going to do? Can't really get the Morse cable out of the way. Change the impeller. Do not want to drop these in the bilge. Oh, that was already loose. That's not encouraging, but there you go. Okay, I'd rather my hands be dirty than risk dropping one of these. This is really awkward. The gasket seems okay. Now this should. Can I just pull this out? How does this come out? Hello? I need my nails pliers. Oh, haha, one of the legs are missing already. Yeah, this was definitely time to replace. How the hell do you get this off? All right. How the fuck does this come out? All right, I need to go ask a friend. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. All right, I'm asking the collective, and the answer seems to be there's a pin in here, don't lose it, and to just pull on all of the fins until it starts to come out. They said if I cared about this one, to use WD-40. I don't, because it's already coming apart. There's something called a woodruff pin or something. I don't know what that is yet. Oh, it is actually starting to come out now. Doing this in these cramped quarters is really not fun. One question I have is where the hell did the broken fin go? So the woodruff pin, it looks like a key on a shaft. I don't want to just yank this thing out because that little pin could go flying. Okay, it's out. I think that is it looks like a piece of thread, so it's different from what my friend was showing me, but I think it's the same idea. It's what keys into the part that spins that forces this to spin, so I've got to thread that out, I think, for the replacement impeller. Battery and recording time's almost out. I got it out, it's missing a fin, I gotta swap the batteries, and I think I'm far enough along I can put my sweater back on. Back in bed. I've lost the sun, so it's dark again. I found a replacement impeller wheel on the boat. I found a lot of impeller wheels, but only one of them that I found so far is the right one for what I'm replacing right now. I think the others are for the other pumps. Mine didn't come with the screw, so I had to salvage the screw out of the old impeller, but it did have the gaskets. I'm working with very limited space in here because it is cold, so I've closed the bulkhead door. This is the impeller plate, but the underside has a lot of crap, so I have one of these, I don't know what you call them, finishing pads. And I'm just going to try to... I don't want to mar the surface too badly, but I want to get the worst of the crap off. Just trying to get whatever shit I can off so that the gasket makes a good seal. I've seen some boats that have like full-on proper work areas. I am not fortunate enough to have one of those. This metal is soft, so I'm really, even though it's just a pad, I'm mindful not to take any metal off if I can avoid it. Okay, is that perfect? Not even close. Well, there's a little bit, I don't know if you can see that, there's a little bit of debris. There's like a ring of raised metal, which I think seats against this gasket. So I'm going to try to get that last little bit here off. I'm really tired and I want to take shortcuts. And that is a very bad thing to give into. What is an extra minute or two of work right now could be a half an hour to an hour project if I had a problem on the way home and had to pull this apart again. Or who knows, maybe this is totally overkill and I didn't have to worry about it. I don't know, so I'd rather be careful. That is substantially better than it was. As you can see, this slot here, that's what engages with that screw. So I need to push this in, but I can't just push it in because these are in the upright position. I have to fold these over, and I know that it rotates counterclockwise. So I need to roll them in this way, and I'm not quite sure how to do that. Conceptually I know what to do, but... So screws like that. Oh, balls. I'm probably going to block your view at some point. I'm sorry. I'm sure there's some proper technique for doing this. I ain't got a clue what it is. I can't see. Let's try to think like an impeller and rotate. There, got it. Now I should like to clean out this interior face, but I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to. Probably not the best way to deal with the problem by just pretending it doesn't exist, but here we are. You notice the paper has a low spot? I'm assuming that's got to line up there. Now it's worth noting, I did not see a piece of paper when I took this out. Okay. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Yay. It's probably gonna be like changing your wheels, and I should be tightening these up at opposing angles or at opposing sides. I have so much to do, and physically, my body doesn't understand how much we still have to do. Alright, I think that's the best I can do that one. Alright, the impeller is swapped. There's another impeller down here. I have no idea how to get to it. That would be an absolute shit show to try to get in and replace. I'll talk to the mechanics tomorrow and see what they think. If I should just leave it or whether it'd be better to deal with it now while I have them available to try to replace that impeller. Maybe what I could do, if I take the wheels off, I could take this whole thing out and replace this on the bench. I'll ask them tomorrow and see what they suggest. So with all the hoses replaced and the lines bled, the last thing to do now is to try to turn the engine over and see if she starts. I'll talk to the yard guys tomorrow and maybe we'll try turning it over. I'm nervous. I've done a lot of work to this engine. I'd be shocked if I got it right. I need to go take a shower. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I thought I got all the hoses in and I was ready to start pouring in the coolant to turn over the engine. And I thought, I best go talk to somebody about this. So if you notice, one of the impeller blades is missing. I went to ask Joe, the mechanic here, if he still advised me not to open up the heat exchanger, because that's likely where the blade is. And he kind of hemmed and hawed, and he's like, well, if it's blocking up one tube, it's probably not a big deal. If it broke up and it's blocking a few tubes, it might be a problem. So I'm going to crack it open. I also asked about the impeller at the bottom of the engine, whether he thinks that's something I should be worried about. And his take on it was, being at the bottom, it's probably the least likely to have been maintained. So his recommendation is to try to replace that as well. So before I can do the coolant, I need to get the heat exchanger out and that bottom impeller off. The way I'm going to try to do that is from the Lazarette side on the starboard. I'm going to take that board out that acts as sort of like part of the storage and see if that gives me better access to the bottom. I'm going to pull the heat exchanger first. I'm not going to record that because you've already seen me in there enough. You saw me take the hoses off and put them on. It's basically going to be that process again. So for you, I'll be right back with the heat exchanger. For me, I've got a bit of work to do. Be right back. I got the heat exchanger out. So it's quite a bit later, as you can tell by being dark. I met some new dock mates, I guess you would call them. Really lovely couple who just bought a boat down the slip from me, or a couple slips down from me. So yeah, that took a bit. Now, I'm back. I've got the heat exchanger out and I'm ready to take it apart. Before I do, I'm going to show you what my concerns are. So as I mentioned earlier, one of the impeller fins is missing and I couldn't find it. It's entirely possible it fell into the bilge and I just didn't notice it. It could have been in one of the hoses and it fell out and I didn't notice it. But realistically, it got sucked in. I think it would have been sucked in this one, if I'm remembering right. In any case, I need to crack this open. My concern is, you can see the ends have been painted, so I can't get PB Blaster in to try to give me a better chance of getting this bolt off without breaking it. Similarly, over here, you can actually see it's copper. I don't know why it was painted gray, but here we are. So I need to crack this and this. I'm going to try to get these ends off and I should be able to look straight through it, and basically it's a whole bunch of straws that the coolant go through the straws and the seawater goes around it, or vice versa. I can't remember, but the point is I need to make sure they're all clear. So I have to get these off and I really hope I don't break them, because if I break them, yeah, there's a very strong argument that I shouldn't be doing this and I should just take a chance of not touching it. And if I've blocked a couple of the tubes, well, hopefully it doesn't overheat, but I don't know. Here we go. I hope I'm not making a mistake. But by the same measure, if I don't do this and I overheat, well, then that's a mistake. Okay. That came off, okay. Where's my paper towel? Because this is likely going to leak everywhere. I might need to get a flat screwdriver to try to crack that off. Okay, before I do that though, let's crack the other side. Oh, did I get lucky? I think I got lucky. I've got a wire brush. I don't know if you can see that through my viewfinder, but there's crud on the threads. I'm gonna brush that off. Really be nice if I could salvage the gaskets. I'm going to go over to my sink and let it drain there. Oh, the gasket's tearing. Okay, I kind of expected that. Oh, I think I see it. I'm not actually looking into it too well, so I can see this at the same time you do. You see it there? Found it. Okay, well, oh, ha! This has happened before. There's another one blocking one of the tubes. I was about to say, I probably don't need to take the other side off, but I do. I can already see some plugging. When Joe was saying that he was worried it could have broken up and plugged multiple holes, oh, I can see even more debris in there. It probably would not have been enough to cause me a problem, but I'm actually really glad I've done this. Oh. Ew. I think those are mud dauber hornet's nests that I got stuck in there. There is disgusting shite in here. I think that was... Nope, there's more. Ugh. Ew. Yuck. Okay. So now I have to go and get new gasket material, but that's okay. I can probably go to like an auto store and get that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a light and shine it on the underside and look through all of the tubes to see if any of them are blocked. Hold the light back here. You see all the holes? That's where the coolant goes through, and the fresh water goes around those tubes. That side's fine. Got a blockage on that one. Okay, so I've got one blockage only, and it's at the end of this one. How am I going to do that? Normally you'd stick an air nozzle and just blow down it, but... Oh! Huh! I really doubt you can see... No, you can't see anything in there. Actually, if I do this, can you see the blockage? Right up in there. I'll highlight it on camera. That's not that bad at all. I can probably knock that out. I think that's just part of the mud dauber nest. Oh, starting to see. I think I got most of it out. Come on, will you get out? Oh, starting to come out. Oh, did I get it? I think I might have gotten most of it, you know? So what I'll do is I'm going to let this dry overnight, and then tomorrow there's one hose outlet by the yard that I can put a nozzle on and spray and see if I can flush this out. I can't do anything else tonight anyway because I have to replace these gaskets. Is there anything else I can do tonight? Probably clean up these end caps. Man, this engine's going to be in better shape than it's been in probably a decade. Luring it into a false sense that it's being revived for a long life. Well, actually it might still be, you know? I didn't realize how valuable the Yanmar 3QM30 is. I'd probably sell it. I'd rather see it go back into someone's boat and get used than go into a landfill. And if I can make the trip all the way home and she doesn't give me any hassle, that's going to be a pretty good indication to somebody who might want to buy her that she's worthy of the effort. I found when I was looking for the coolant that Yanmar apparently only specifies a few particular brands, and one of the things I saw was, don't use the green coolant. When I drained this, it was green, so some of this salting and corrosion might be a sign from using, or might be because of using the wrong coolant, or maybe just this hasn't been opened in 40 years, I don't know. Ah, okay, so I see how it works. The fluid, so there's solid walls that go down like this, but the ones in this angle are hollow. So it looks like the way it works, oh wait, no, that one's solid, that one's hollow, That one's solid and that one's solid. Okay, so in here, this is solid, goes down through to this side. That is open, so it's going to come down and up this side. It comes out here. This is hollow, so it's going to go across and down out here. And this is hollow, so then it's going to come down this way and out here. Okay, so there's the 4 chambers. That's neat. That's how they can get cooling. Okay, so the fluid has to go up and down, and up. So even though these two are right beside each other, it's all the way through before it can go from one to the other. Neat. This looks like an old steam locomotive thingy, which I'm assuming is actually based on the same principle. I'm on the Lady K Discord, and the folks there are really friendly in that joshing you kind of way. So I've been chatting there about the troubles I've been having with the getting the boat ready to take home, and they knew that I was looking for it. And one of them made a smart-ass comment that, I think you need a new impeller. No shit. They're good people. If you're at all into sailing, that's a good place to hang out, the Lady K Discord. Okay, it's not perfect by any means, but you can sort of see the before and after. Again, I'm not trying to make this perfect. I'm just trying to make it so that when I put the new gasket material on, it makes a good seal. Why is the dust rising? That's weird. Oh, probably because the air is really cold, so my body heat is causing an updraft, if I was to guess. There. Not perfect, but perfectly fine. You see the state of that bolt? It's not in great shape. When I say that I'm not trying to get it perfect, what I mean is I'm just trying to get all the crud out of the threads. So there's corrosion in them right now. Not bad, mind you. It's probably fine, but I've gone to this much effort. Okay, that's going in nice and smooth and clean. The after. I probably painted it to help prevent the grain corrosion that happens with copper. When I'm all done, all the work, I'm going to give this boat such a deep clean. It's going to be beautiful. For now, I live in a construction site. The dust is probably not good for lungs. Okay, I think that's good enough. So tomorrow I'm going to take this and spray it out, flush it out as best as I can. This heat exchanger is going to be good to go. I mean, not perfect by any means, but perfectly adequate. Okay, done. So it's the next day, and I finally found the replacement gaskets. These things are bloody unobtainium now, apparently. I went to 4 shops. Each shop was like, oh no, you need to go here, you need to go here. And finally the last shop was like, oh yeah, no one really uses this anymore. Apparently this is a really old style of heat exchanger. Today I learned. So let's put it together. I originally tried to make sure I kept these on the right side, and I have completely mixed them up now. I don't think it matters. And yes, the gaskets are too big. Once they're clamped down, you just cut off the excess. I also ran a hose and washed it out, rinsed it out, whatever you want to call it. And I got some grass and stuff out of it. I got the last of the mud dauber hornet's nest out of there. I don't know how much torque I should be putting on this. That seems about right. Oh, and the gentleman was saying that, where is it? Oh, there's some water in there still. This is an anode, it's not a drain. And we looked inside, he looked inside and said there's not a lot left to it. I said, is it going to be a problem over 200 hours of running? He said no. But I'll have to make a note that whoever I end up selling or giving this engine to knows to replace that anode. Assuming there's still value in it. They may want the engine, but not necessarily the heat exchanger. Oh, wow, this stuff is gummy. There we go. It really doesn't want to cut. This is going to be a very ugly outer edge of the gasket, but if it doesn't leak, I don't care. There. Ugly gasket is ugly, but it should do the job. I also sprayed water into the coolant reservoir, and the water coming out the other side was kind of gunky, so I just kept washing it until the water coming out was clear. There we go. One reconditioned, one cleaned. I don't know what you'd call this. Heat exchanger. Now, the other thing is, I was worried about the coolant overflow reservoir. I was originally just going to use a plastic bottle, but I did a little accidental science experiment. I was doing my dishes and I thought, oh, I've got some hot water. I'd made spaghetti or something like that, and I poured it into the sink. I had some like single-use plastic cups that I've been reusing over and over again. When the hot water hit them, the plastic just went and shrunk right up. And I thought, wow, if this thing bubbles over hot coolant, I don't want the bottle that it's in to suddenly do the same thing on the trip home. So I went looking for a proper coolant reservoir, and this is what I found. It was like 30 bucks. Got just screwed onto the side. It's got the 1/4 inch nipple thing here. Yeah, it's got all the parts. I mean, for 30 bucks. Also, this was in the box, and the guy showed me it, and I said, well, this doesn't fit on here. And he's like, I don't think it's for that. Is this, did I get by accident a new cap? That says 13 pounds. Oh, that's rusted out. I'm going to take that over to the mechanic and see if I can brush that out. And if it's the same weight, I might have just gotten a new cap and didn't even realize it. It fits on. Ha! That might have been bonus. If this wasn't like supposed to be in the box for 30 bucks, that was a very good deal. Okay, anyways, this thing has the top so that it'll maintain a proper vacuum. I don't have to try to duct tape the top of the bucket. For 30 bucks, it was just, how could I say no? It may be the right size, but I don't know if you can see that in the corner. It says 7 pounds. This one, you can see in the center cap, says 13 pounds. So even though this fits, I'm not going to use it. Before I mount this, the last job I really should do is the bottom impeller. That's going to be a bitch to get at. I need to get that. There's the board in the Lazarette that keeps me from sliding into the engine bay. I'm going to try to get that off, and then let me get my hand down and see if I can get that impeller out. So the impeller that I'm trying to get off is back here. I'm hoping I can get in under here. I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at. I should have probably replaced that hose. I didn't see that one. Well, I think I'll just leave that one and hope for the best. Fuck. I'm gonna try to take this panel off and then see if I can get my hand down there. Holy shit. That was almost long enough to hit the fuel tank. Alright, the screws for this are coming in from this side, so I know this is going to be in the way. I've got to get this out of the way. Yep, let's go do her. You can see the screws in there. They're all flatheads. How annoying. Thankfully, this should be perfect for my right angle tool, although I'm going to have to do this by hand. Hot water tank is very much in the way. Oh, come on. I got 3 of them off. I can't get this one any further. Try one more time, though. I'm sure it's not going to work. No, I can't get that going. All right, let's see if I can just rip it out. This is where I can't get the screw out, but I wonder if I take these off, if I can pull this thing whole away. Oh, hello. Winch cover and a cone. Cute. Wonder how long they've been there. What is holding this on? Oh, I see another screw down there. I'd rather not break it if I can avoid it. Whoa! And we're free. I can go get that side off now. Now that that's free, I can get the screwdriver in here. Alright, didn't even have to break anything. Woo! So I'm trying to work on the side of a slide. There we go. Alright. And that is absolutely no easier to access. Fuck. I just did all of that and it doesn't help. Ah, son of a... Alright, well... Oh, this is gonna suck. Well, nothing can be done for it. Problem is, there's the impeller and there's the faceplate, but it's on the other side of the engine. If I try to get it from the other side though, I'm reaching in down from the quarter berth. This hose at least looks okay. Ew. Ew, ew, ew. Oh, I can't wait for all of this to be gone. Cleaning this off not only helps me not get too dirty while I'm doing this work now, it'll give me a chance to see if there's fresh oil coming out after I've had her out a couple of times before I start the big trip. I can't even see the screws from this side, so after all this work I might go try and get it from the quarter berth side. This is not going to be fun. Fuck, how am I going to do this? I don't think I can use my gloves. I'm just going to have to accept getting dirty. I need the dexterity. Why can I not get the socket on the head? Oh my god, could there be a more miserable part to work on? Alright. One screw down. Too many more to go. I think I need a 6mm spanner. I can get the end on it, but I have absolutely no room left to do any work. Alright, taking this wall apart ended up doing the trick. I haven't actually pulled it apart yet, but I'll show you what I did. So, you can see, I loosened the alternator, which I had to do anyway because the belt that was on it was too long. Got that off. The freshwater pump is at the top on this L bracket. I don't know if you can see that at all. But I loosened up that L bracket and slid it forward, and I was able to take that V-belt off. And with those off, there's a bolt here, and there's a bolt here. And with that done, the whole water pump comes away. Now that I've got this out like this, I have much, much easier access to that pump. So let's get it apart. Oh man, I thought I was a mess before. I'm absolutely disgusting now. But so it goes. Don't buy a boat if you're afraid of getting dirty. This is going to be just slightly easier to get to. Where'd I put my other socket? Fuck, that's exactly what I didn't want to have happen. And that's also why I wiped up the bilge a bit. I knew if I dropped something, it'd be easier to find this way. These gloves that the mechanic kindly gave me are a bit big for me. Not that I am complaining, just making a comment. I'm finding the looseness of the glove is snagging on a lot of things. The importance of getting the right size. Okay, no, the gloves aren't working. Okay, this has the other kind of... Actually, you know what? This impeller seems okay. I need to go get something to pull that out with. I also have to remember it's rotating towards the engine hose. All right. Balls. Oh, the previous owner put the arrow on it to show which way it was rotating. Man, the previous owner actually did a lot of really good things. Okay, now the question is, do I have a spare impeller? This one's actually in really good shape. It probably was fine to not replace that, but I didn't know that until it was already pulled apart, and now that it's pulled apart, I might as well replace it. So there you go. Let's go look through our stockpiles. This is what I need to replace. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blade with a key down the center. Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Nope, nope, nope. Nope. All right, I'm headed back out to the shops. I don't know what those impellers are for, but they're not the ones I need. Now, before I go, these two belts I want to replace one for one. I look through my collection of spare belts. It's this one. This one is the right one, but I don't know if you can see it's got damage and it's cracking. So no, I'm gonna put that one in the garbage. Nope, gotta replace this one. Okay, so that's getting on the replace list. Put that with the impeller. Okay, this is the alternator that's too long, so I'm definitely going to replace that. Look at this. This was the too long one. You know, this might be the right size for the alternator. Let's go down and try that. Yeah, I think that's gonna fit. So this is gonna be fine. So that's an alternator belt and that's in good shape. So I can just hang that here. I know it's good. Okay, so I need the other two belts and the impeller. Now, I should be cleaning out the sea strainer. I'm gonna see if I can get that off and then I'll take that with me to the store as well. That's actually perfectly fine. I'm gonna leave that. And if this leaks, it just leaks some water into the bilge. I think it's okay to just leave that one alone. Actually, do I need both belts or can I? This one looks okay. Oh, what's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Oh! Hello! Haha, I do have one! Sweet! Oh, previous owner, thank you so much. Oh, and I have a little belt too. Dude, I might have everything. Ah, shit, this is, okay, I'm going back in the, oh, what I don't have though is, I look like shit, but I don't care. I think I found all of the new belts. I found a new impeller, but it doesn't come with the, I've got two impellers actually that look like the right size, but they don't have the piece, I'll show you. There's a, you see that? A paper gasket. I think I found one of these before. I just need to go look for it. Wow, the whole camera's tilted. I'm sorry, I look like hell. Is this it? I think it is, you know. All right, let's go back in the breach and see how she looks. All right, not having a shelf anymore. My diesel tank is very quickly running out of space. Oh, please this work. If this works, I just saved a bunch of money. There's the new impeller. Actually, this one, I know I just opened it, but it looks a bit corroded and aged inside. This one still looks shinier, so I think this one's been exposed to air. So I'm gonna keep that as my backup. I'm gonna use this one. Come here, damn it. Oh, and Buddy told me to use dish soap. To make sure it doesn't burn up before I put it in. Okay, but before I do that, let me just see if this actually fits. Yes, it does. Okay. And does the gasket fit? Yes, it does. I have everything I need. Alrighty, let's go get some dish soap. So the reason for the dish soap is that when it first starts up, there's going to be no liquid. And during that time, it's just going to be straight rubber on metal friction. So we want to give the impeller a bit of a fighting chance to not burn up until the water hits it, or coolant in this case. But this isn't going to last very long, so I'm going to want to put coolant in this almost as soon as I'm done. Now, it was spinning towards the motor. There's the key. There we go. She's in. Okay. Never have I burned through paper towels so fast in my life. That's how the holes line up. I don't know if it matters, but you can see from the pattern that that's... I'm not killing it because they didn't seem to have a lot of tension on them when I took the bolts off in the first place. There we go. the belts need to go on in a certain order. This one, yeah, I think, yep. Actually, I don't want to tighten that too much. I need to be able to swing this to put tension on the belt. Get the belt in the V groove. Come on, get in there. 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 So what I did is I pushed down on the pump to put tension on the belt. I can move the belt a little bit, but not much. I think he said you should only be able to move it about 1/4 of an inch. So I should be okay. Next belt is the alternator, which is this one, I believe. There we go. Hopefully that should keep the alternator belt from slipping when it gets under higher load. Okay, last belt is this one to that pump. Hello!
It's Shayna and Sean again.
Hello! Just 1 second there, I'm just tightening up a bolt. Ah. All right, all new belt and new impeller. Let's put the heat exchanger back. It's coming together. Howdy! You're getting your boat all prettied up, eh? Making progress. One of the other questions is, where can I mount this? Could I mount that actually right here? You know, I think I could. That would work. Yeah, I'll put it right there. I have a hole down there, but it's plugged up, I think, so I don't think I need to worry about that one. Let's get the heat exchanger on now. Alrighty. When I sprayed the water into this reservoir, which is for the coolant, it came out down here, which makes sense now because that then goes to the engine and it runs the coolant through the engine. This one goes out to the exhaust and this one is in from the fresh water, so it comes in, goes through that channel system we saw, and then pops out the other side and heads overboard. It's actually kind of neat. Now I have a better idea of what's happening thanks to having to pull this apart. Biggest thing I'm learning from all this is that I am so looking forward to going to electric. But damned if I haven't learned a lot, even if it's not what I really wanted to learn. Okay, now I need to get from here to the coolant reservoir. Okay, he told me this was 1/4 inch. Smooth. Oh my god, it's finally coming together. Holy shillings. I'm almost out of time on my SD card, which means this is going to be a long video. Alright, ladies, gents, and others, all the hoses are done. I think we're ready to start putting coolant in this. Oh no, I have to take this impeller off and put soap on it. I forgot about that. Nope, almost done. Okay, well, you know what? You saw me put soap on that one. You saw me change this one already. You don't need to see me do that on camera. And as soon as I'm done, yeah, pour coolant in. I'll bring you back for the coolant. It's been a couple of hours since I stopped. I also wanted to ask some folks about whether I should pour water into the fresh water system to try to prime it before I turn over the engine. And the general consensus was pour water into the sea strainer until it won't take any more water and leave it at that. The suction of the impellers running should be enough to draw the water in pretty quickly. And with the dish soap now on both impellers, that should give me some lubrosity, is that the right word? Until the water gets into it so I don't burn up the impellers. So I've got some water, I've already got the C strainer open. I'm gonna pour some coolant in. Let's see if we can turn over the engine. It's late, so there's not gonna be necessarily a lot to see, but now that I've got the dish soap on the impeller, I don't know how long the dish soap's gonna last for as a lubricant, so I don't wanna leave this for too much longer. Sorry, gotta get past you to get to the coolant. I don't know if you can see, but the problem is there's the fill way in there. Yeah, it's not really long enough. I think I have the funnel with a longer hose in my car. So I can't find my other funnel, but I found the hose for the funnel, which is longer. So I'm gonna try to join the two together and see if that gives me what I need. To help make sure I don't spill it though, I'm gonna tape it together. This is not great, but I'm not looking for great, I'm looking for functional. Pardon?
Do you have any rice?
I do not, I'm afraid.
He dropped his phone in the water and went in after it.
Did you get it?
Yeah, he got it, but...
Here, 1 second. That was a neighbor asking for rice because he dropped his phone in the water and then he jumped in and got it. The screen was, yeah, it didn't look good. Boat life. I don't know if I finished showing that, but this is not perfect by any means, but hopefully it should minimize spilling. Okay, that's going so far so good. You can hear it gurgling. Oh, shit! Ah, balls! Okay, that's overfull. I thought that was going to take a lot more than that. All right, well, I've got a fresh pad down there, so that'll catch that before it goes out to the water. The worst part is it's not done. I just poured it in too quickly. Oh, shit, that is a hole down here. What am I supposed to do with that? Is there a cap that goes over that? Why is there a hole down below? Well, this is going spectacularly messy. Screw. I don't imagine this is a proper way to plug that, but you know what? If it works. Oh, what a mess this is. Even though that's spilled, it's gurgling down and it's well below, so I gotta top it up. I just have to pour it in a lot slower. Oh, I was trying so hard not to have spills. Oh, concentrate! Must add water! Oh, for fuck's sakes! Oh, I've really cocked this up. I thought this was premix. Fuck. Okay, well, I will top it up with water, I guess. Wow, I have completely fucked this up 10 different ways. This is not my shining moment. Like, should I drain the system and start over? I can pour water into here to mix what's in that overflow container. Oh, all right, I need to go ask some people for help. I don't know how badly I fucked up. I'll be back in a few minutes. I gotta figure out how to fix this. This day's just getting better and better. I was trying to close my door, it wouldn't latch, and I just ripped the fucking handle off. All right, I am going to drain the coolant out. I don't want to risk causing more problems after doing this much work. I've asked the mechanic, he said you shouldn't have put soap onto the coolant loop impeller, so I'm gonna have to take, I asked him, I said, you know, is that gonna cause a problem? But I suspect the answer is yes. So I think I need to drain the coolant and then take everything apart again and take that lower impeller out. Shit happens. Shit happens when you're learning. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, this was probably the lowest point I hit in the project, and this was pretty much the lowest point in the actual, what you just saw was like the lowest point. I want to reassure you that I picked myself back up get everything sorted, and it's all working in the end. For those of you who've watched this far, thank you very much for bearing through this. I know it's not necessarily the most interesting video, but again, it's part of the channel motto, ethos, I don't know what the right term is, to show everything, the good and the bad, to show the realities of a big project. And so that's what this is. If you've watched this far, well, hopefully you're getting something out of the fact that I'm showing all this stuff, and well, if you're not here, then you probably got bored. I'll see you in the next video. I'm the Digital Mermaid. I'm pretty fortunate to have some pretty crazy people call me friend. One of them is building this absolutely magnificent beast.